Joel Hillsman here with Phyllis Arthur, the head coach of the McEachern Lady Indians, who was Georgia's 5A women's basketball champions this year for 2011 and 12. I can't quit smiling, but congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. First, before we talk about the season, let's just talk about your career overall. You started as an assistant. You're in your second job here at McEachern, but what got you into basketball?
Just sport period. I played basketball all my life. I had several brothers, 6 brothers, and I would have to play with them, so I loved the game. And I don't think I was not thinking about being the head coach. I just wanted to coach, period, but I didn't know to coach basketball you had to be a teacher pretty much in public schools. So when the position came open in Franklin County, they offered it to me. I took it as assistant coach, and I've been doing it ever since.
And it's just been, it comes natural to you now?
Yes, it comes natural to me now, yes. It takes some time to learn players, the do's and don'ts, how to coach them, how not to coach them, if they can handle you in their face or stroking their ego. So my first year at Pebblebrook, I learned the hard way. You have to stroke some egos, and you have to get in some players' faces to make them respond.
Other than that, what challenge would you say you've seen is the biggest challenge for a high school coach on this level?
Just keeping the girls on the same page, and just making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to in the classroom. This year, it was easy. Once I got on the court, the coaching part was easy. The hard part was them off the court, their grades, behavior in class, going to class, making sure they do the right thing. That was the hardest part of coaching, but it made it fun in the end because we joked about it. We joke about it now, but in the beginning, it was driving me nuts to make sure they did what they're supposed to do.
I can imagine. Now, let's talk about this season. I saw you in October, and you said, I got it this year. I've got the team. Is that just, how did you know? Because you had the team. You went undefeated and learning players like you just said, but how did you know you had a pretty good shot?
Because I felt like we should have done it last year. We should have given Norcross a better game, but Dominique sprained her ankle the night before, and it was so swollen she had to get a cortisone shot in the day of the game. And Brittany Hodges, I didn't know she sprained her ankle the first play of the game. So I knew we should have given them a better shot, but I also knew that I did not have them playing the best teams throughout the season. So I decided once we lost that we were going to play the best competition, toughest competition, nationally ranked competition, so we could be prepared for the final game.
And that schedule was thick indeed. A couple teams out of Tennessee, Florida. Do you think in the end that's what really helped the girls peak?
I do, because those teams prepared us. Riverdale, Hoover, they played the kind of ball that we like playing. They like to run, and girls basketball now you can't really do a slow game and enjoy it. So those teams, they like to run, so we had to play those type teams.
As the year went on, I mean, you guys put up some big numbers and point differentials. You know, what was the feeling around the school, especially from the administration? Because whenever a coach is in a successful position, you know, you start getting the pats on the back. How were you feeling or getting the feeling from the administration as you progressed through the season?
The administrators here, they're very supportive. Ms. Montgomery and her administrative staff, Coach Dorsey, very supportive. Even when we had some struggles or the games were close, they're very supportive. Ms. Montgomery comes to all the games. You can hear her over everybody in the stands. We did receive a lot of pats on the back, and I had to tell my girls, you have to stay humble. You cannot start floating in the air. You have to stay humble because anything can happen on any game, any given night. So they're very supportive here. I love it.
That's great, because you and I talked sometime about focus. Did the girls feel that they were the hunted and not the hunters as the year went on, especially in your region?
Yes, they felt like they were the hunted. We started out trying to pounce on people, but when we started winning and started winning some big games, they felt like everybody was gunning for them. And I told them every day we had a target, a bullseye in our back. So, you know, we had to keep dodging the arrow. So girls felt like, you know, everybody was trying to knock us out, knock us down. but they weren't going to let it happen.
And I can say this, and I'm going to brag because I had never seen this before, but after your first round state tournament win over Camden County, you made them practice afterwards. Now, really, I mean, was that to keep them focused because they just won a state tournament game by almost 50 points? Or I know there was something there if you want to talk about it, but I mean, they just won. You send them to the locker room and they come back out to practice, and the other team is sitting there like, they just won by 40 something. So what kind of goes behind that? Because to me, following this team throughout the year, that's what's going to stand out because that's what a championship team does.
That's true. They call me crazy. We have come in the morning at 6. One morning we came in and ran 70-something sprints. And I didn't bring any basketballs out. So they knew there's nothing above that, nothing that I wouldn't do. I was punishing them for several things. They had gotten in trouble.
What, for winning by 40? That's punishment?
It was something a few days earlier.
Shoot, God, let's win by 1. Maybe we got to run.
And so I was punishing them for something they had done previously. And we had a goal that we didn't want anybody to score over 9 points per quarter. And if they did, they had to run a sprint for every time they did that. So we were behind. I had to run for that. And it was just the perfect time to do it. We didn't want to do it the next week because of the big game. So I said, we're going to do it after the game. So we had a couple of people moaning and groaning, but afterwards they laughed about it. They said, hey, we're going to talk about this years to come. So
I know I am. Phyllis, what you finna do? I'm finna run them. What?
Yeah.
They just won by 40. But I mean, and that's good coaching. And I think to go into what else you and I want to talk about, since you've been in the game of basketball, specifically the female, the girls, the women's, how have you seen the growth of female and women's basketball in your time on all levels, from the high school, collegiate, and the professional?
I've seen it really changed from a slower paced game to a fast paced game. I think that's more interesting to the fans and to the players. We have the student body. They really support us, and they come to our games. I remember in the past, the stands may be empty or just a few people there, but this year and last year, the stands were filling up just for our game. So it has really done a flip-flop from slow pace, walking down the court, to run and gun style of basketball, and that's a style of basketball that wins state championships. Slowing it down is, to us and to me, it's boring. Fans, they don't like it. If we stall the ball, they boo us. So we like the run and gun type style of basketball.
Now, it's funny that you mentioned that. I don't know if you heard about in Oregon, the state championship game was won in Class 5A, and the final score was 16-7.
No, I did not hear that. Really?
Yes, 16-7. And the team that had 7 held the ball for the whole second quarter and third quarter.
Wow.
Held it. Took 2 shots in 2 quarters.
Wow.
Is it time for a shot clock?
Yes.
In the high school game?
Yes, it's past time. I mean, that should have happened years ago, because that's what they're going to have when they get in college. So prepare them for that now. They've already changed some things, the rules. Some of the rules have changed from jump ball to possession. So everything's changed. So why not change and have a shot clock? You wouldn't see the teams that are not as good as other teams. They won't be as close because you have a shot clock. They got to shoot the ball within, a certain amount of time. So I think that would progress the game more.
If it was up to you, what would you set the shot clock at?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I like that. It's needed. I mean, because you just can't, fans don't want to see that, like you said. And I think one of the things about women's basketball is the fundamentals.
Right.
It's a little bit more fundamentally sound than the men. Still exciting, but I'm glad to see it growing. And the up and down pace that you play proves that it wins.
Yeah, it wins. You got to have the players, and we had the players and had the guards, so you got to have people who have high basketball IQ and they can run and don't mind running. Speaking
of players, you got 6 girls who are going to be leaving the state and playing collegiate basketball. Each one of those players, from Pasiana Roberts to Destiny Gibbs to Dominique Wilson to Mia and Tia Cooper, what is it about that core group that you had this year?
They made basketball their main priority. outside of academics, I should say. That was their main sport. They put a lot of hours in. I have known them to be in the gym at 11 o'clock at night, 5 in the morning, maybe in the pool, maybe in the weight room. We may open the gym up for them. Even after our practice and after our games, they would come in and practice. So some of those girls were used to practicing after a hard game or workouts. And that's why they were so unique. They put in the time and the hours and the effort to be where they are and to be as good as they are.
Was this team that won the state championship, was it a reflection of its coach?
I would say a little reflection, and the reflection that I would say, how it was a reflection of the coaching. I have put up with a lot that most coaches would not have dealt with. And the girls, they know that some of them would not have played or would have been suspended a long time ago, or may even been kicked off the team for stuff that just kept going on and on. And I'm aware that girls will be girls and teenagers will be teenagers, and you can't punish them for everything that they do. Well, not to that extent. I just run them till they almost pass out. Run them in the morning, run them in the evening, run them at supper time.
You just run them.
Just
That's
run
the
'em.
best lesson.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
best discipline.
If you ever hear them say 9 and 3, they hate that. You have to run 9 laps without cutting corners in 3 minutes. So that's like 3 laps a minute, and they hate it because you have to go full speed to make it.
I don't want to do that.
And most of the student body on campus know about the 9 and 3.
Yeah, yeah. You gonna be the new in-school suspension. Go, Coach Arthur gonna run you.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's excellent. And last thing I want to talk about is you again. I started this with you. I'm gonna come back to you. You seem happy. I've talked to you throughout the season. Are you finished at this level? Because once you start winning championships, doors start opening, phones start ringing, emails start coming. Are you finished, or do you have some more unfinished business to do?
I have a lot of unfinished business to do on this level. I don't want to be the coach that's one and done. A lot of people, once they won that state championship, they stop. They want to go out on a winning note. When I go out, it doesn't matter. You know, I want to go out on a winning note, but I'm not just going to stop just because I won. Most people, I think you will know when it's time to stop. As long as the girls are responding to me, I know I'm not finished here. When I feel like they're not responding anymore, or what I'm doing is not working, if I can't find a way to make it work, then it's time to go and do something different at a different level.
Well, personally, I'm glad you're gonna be around, and I look forward to seeing this team. I don't know, it's not October, so don't tell me if you got it or not this year. But
I can't tell you yet.
but again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing McEachern Lady Indians down the road again.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.